Can y'all hear me? I know I just said that shit hella low, so probably not, but you know what I mean. I cannot hear shit. Why is it so quiet? God, that's... Alright, let me see what I did. Alright, y'all saying yeah, y'all can hear me, but I cannot hear myself yet again. Do y'all hear music? I don't think so. Alright, shout out to the neighborhood talk. Thank y'all for coming. I wasn't gonna go live, but after listening to this story and reading everything that I read, I definitely want to talk about it because this is crazy. And if you've been to my true crime channel and if you was there at one of my first shows, you know this type of situation came up, and I asked people over there, have you ever asked your child, who they're attracted to? Because these kids is very young with some very serious grown up issues. And first off, I want to start by saying I don't appreciate how Dwight Howard's name is not being mentioned, even though that's that boy's father and he's in NBA. Like, I just think that's really weird. And it's really messed up, honestly. So, the neighborhood talk got their hands on some of the documents. I don't know if y'all heard about what happened, but this is crazy. I was gonna read it. It's like 4 pages, but when y'all hear this, this is crazy. So before the undersigned witnessing authority personally appeared, Detective Rachel Sanfilippo, who first by me duly sworn, says she is a sworn police officer for the Winter Garden Police Department and that she has personal knowledge of an offense that occurred in Orange County, Florida, between 5/25/2021 and August 1st, 2021 in Orange County, Florida. The defendant, Royce Lindsay Reed, did in violation of Florida state statutes 82 whatever commit child neglect. Now, I know a lot of people were saying, why did she get child neglect? And I think it's going to come up later, but she violated a court order. What was the court order for? It is being reported by multiple outlets at this point that the court order she had in place was that her son was not allowed to be around anyone 2 years younger than him unsupervised. So, on February 24th, 2022, WGPD received a DCF fax for their case number, which stated Braylon Howard had such and such touched his penis in a sexual way. The incident occurred about a year ago in Orange County. Is blanked out is the mother's paramour son. The incident occurred at Braylon's home. It's unknown if Braylon and blank reside in the same home at the time of the incident. Braylon has a history of sexual behaviors. So Braylon has a history of sexual behaviors, allegedly. He is currently in treatment at True Core Behavioral Solutions. He has been in treatment for 8 months, allegedly. So you don't just have to worry about telling your kids about adults. You have to make sure that they know about other kids. Because it's being reported that he states, matter of fact, let's just keep reading. I messaged CPI Adler and told her she did not have authorization to interview Braylon due to this being an open and ongoing criminal investigation. However, she had already spoken with Braylon, who admitted he had sexually molested blank, stated it happened at least 2 times. He said that he made blank masturbate me because I was angry at him. Braylon stated he believes anger triggers him into acting out sexually. He further said the incident with blank occurred before he went into I'm sorry, y'all. I just there is so much to unpack. What do you mean anger triggers you? You know how it's alleged that if you show me a serial killer, I'll show you a kid who killed the animal, right? That's what they allege about serial killers. Like, you can tell like where they're going based on their childhood. They're alleging that he was already in treatment. He has a history of this type of thing going on. Could you imagine being this mom? Could you imagine being Royce? Like, you're not supposed to love your kid no more, but on the same token, like, what do? He was in treatment. Well, apparently that's the neglect charge is allegedly coming from the fact that he was left unsupervised. In order for this to happen, they had to be unsupervised. Because, I mean, you would hope nobody was in the room with them while this was going down. So they're saying that, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be unsupervised, but he was. Now, his father is an NBA, legend. And you don't hear his name being mentioned too much in nowhere. You think that's a coincidence? And it's alleged that Royce is under a gag order, so she can't even say his name. Now, this boy is in treatment. Where did this behavior come from? Right? Because we say hurt people hurt people. Why does he equate anger with sex, allegedly, at that young of an age? So is some more stuff going to come out? Like, I don't understand. So allegedly he was in treatment to learn how to walk away from situations that make him angry and upset. So I don't know, man. This whole situation is crazy. And there's a doctor out there that's saying that you're born, if you're a certain type of person, you're born that way when it comes to crimes like this. And he's a child doing this to children. You see what I'm saying? You see what the problem? All right. It says P.I. Adler and OCSO Deputy E. Lopez responded to the residence where they met with such and such, his ex-wife Crystal, a 10-year-old, and a 6-year-old. During this interview, such and such denied being sexually molested or any appropriate behaviors. Such and such was qualified for interview, was able to identify his private parts and where he should not be touched. He then disclosed he had touched he had allegedly touched Braylon's private at his request. Such and such stated, this is a 6-year-old, stated Braylon gets angry and tells such and such to touch him. He could not recall how many times this occurred, but stated it happened at Braylon's house. Nothing further was discussed. So, yeah. Man, imagine if this is your baby that's doing this to babies. This is crazy. And then, you got an absentee parent who's not involved. So it ain't like he's spending no time over there from what's being alleged. I can't deal. I cannot deal. Having been the detective assigned the previous case with Braylon under Winter Garden case number whatever. So what was the previous case? And who was that victim? I don't know if that's my business or not. But you got to understand. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I can't even imagine what already had him in therapy. I can't even imagine what already allegedly had him in therapy. And allegedly had him known as having ish. I don't even know. Like, I literally don't even know what to say. Yeah, they are saying it's the son of the boyfriend. Thank you, Wonder Woman. And I guess this is her ex-boyfriend, allegedly. So it says, having been the detective assigned the previous case with Braylon, underwater garden case, whatever, Orange County case, whatever. I wonder if that's two different cases. I reached out to the state attorney assigned to it. According to documents I found, Braylon entered into a post-plea diversion on February 2nd, 2021. When under number 5 of diversion agreement, there are stipulations from a S that he must abide by. Stipulations M states Braylon J. Howard agrees to and shall have no contact with any child younger, smaller, weaker, or anyone who is physically or mentally handicapped unless under the direct supervision, sight, and sound of an appropriate adult until it is deemed appropriate that the child does not pose a safety risk as determined by a therapist who is actively treating them. Stipulation O states Braylon J. Howard agrees to not play with or babysit any children who are 2 or more years younger than they are. Based upon the allegations received from blank, these two stipulations were violated, and because of them being violated, such and such became a victim of Braylon. And that is why Mrs. Royce had to go and turn herself in. Because this allegedly happened at her house, and he was not supposed to be left alone. Now, as a parent, this is why you can't, you do what you want to do, but letting your kids go, that's That's a no-go. It is what it is. We'll all sit outside together because ain't nobody going to nobody's house. What you leaving my house for going into somebody else's house anyway? I tell my kids that all the time. It don't make no sense. You could just stay home. It's much more comfortable here. Like, where are you going? Like, make it make sense. If you're going outside, then do that. That going outside and going to somebody else's house is not outside. That's somebody else's house. What you mean? On March 2nd, 2022, at approximately 11:30 hours, CC Ogletree and I met with Crystal such and such and such and such for a CPT interview. We first met with such and such where CC Ogletree obtained information from him. Such and such told us he and Royce had been dating for over a year when Braylon was removed from school, stating he was not welcome in the school any longer due to a case he was involved in and the diversion program he was a part of. Oh, she under all types of stress. He got kicked out of school over whatever already happened. Not even this situation. He continued to say Braylon was in a diversion program and his mother has started to get letters and documents together to try to get Braylon back into the school system, but she kept getting denied. Because of this, such and such says some red flags started to get raised, and it prompted him to ask his children about it. When he asked such and such if anyone had touched him, specifically Braylon, he said yes. Such and such went on to say he had never been touched by Braylon, but Braylon made him touch his and made him do this as he made a jerking motion with his hand. This is the 6-year-old. When I say fix it, Jesus, I'm like, is it wrong to say that maybe lock him up until another day? Like another day? Like old enough to drink and things of that nature, possibly. We'll discuss it. Let's just all, because what is happening? What is happening? And then you doing this with possibly no support, no help. You can't tell your friends about this. How many of your friends you telling your son is in what do you say? Oh, I know you want to go upstairs real quick and have a quickie, but we can't because I can't leave my son alone with your kid. But then it is saying that it seemed like the dad knew something. I don't know when, but he said he asked his kid. It's a lot. It's a lot. And this one little baby 6. If this happened a year or two ago, 5, maybe 4. All right, listen. After such and such made the disclosure, such and such said he slept on it and called Royce the next day to tell her what such and such had told him. Royce, in turn, called Braylon's counselor or therapist who notified DCF, such and such, then texted Crystal saying they needed to talk and she needed to come to his house to talk to him and DCF. The father, I'm assuming this father, said he had not spoken with such and such about it since the initial disclosure and DCF investigation, and he had been staying with Crystal since. So now he back with his baby mother. They're bonding over this. This is going to make their family stronger. That's, whatever. I can't judge. At least he's probably there trying to be there for the kids. I don't know, but they're saying they haven't talked about it, so I don't know. Let me see. So when asked how often such and such and Braylon would be together, again, thinking the father said they were together often, specifically over the summer and Christmas break with some sleepovers occurring. When asked if the children would ever be left unsupervised, such and such said there was always an adult in the home, but there was not constant supervision with them as it was a big house and the kids would play together. So yeah. It's not even about Royce knowing. It's what do you do? What you do? You cutting your preteen off? You see what I'm saying? It is what do you do? That's what we have to get to the bottom of. What do you do? Allegedly, he's in therapy. Allegedly, this is not the first time this has even happened. So we've already had to deal with it. So you can't go to sleep. Like, okay, again, you cannot have kids around. You literally, can you give birth and have a kid and have that kid around? Is this why, not saying this makes an excuse to anything, but is this why his father is not around allegedly? Because of this situation, he doesn't know how to deal with it. He feel like something's up, or I don't know. Because again, where did he learn this behavior from? Any other time they say this is a learned behavior. So So something Braylon regarding the relationship and his children. Blank said, "Oh, that's over. The kids will never be around each other again. And as far as he and Royce goes, he does not have a desire. He don't want to see the kid ever again. He said his son is not the type of kid to lie, be accepted. I just, we only hear from one father and not this. I mean, Royce put one statement up, but at least she did that, and I think it was in her IG, and I have it. It would be nice to hear from Mr. Howard himself. You can't. I don't. I just want to know what she's supposed to do. Like, this is it. Her son got to be locked up forever now. This is it. Because I definitely don't want her around nothing that I love. I don't want her son around nothing that I love. So I feel for the situation, but I feel for I understand that he's a kid. I'm not going to let that just go out the window and act like he's some 20-something-year-old. He's a kid hurting kids. Why? I want to know why. I want to know who hurt him. He allegedly told them people that when he gets angry, he needs to be touched by somebody. And he makes little people younger than him do it. So when who gets angry around him, who allegedly possibly made him touch them? Like this, I don't understand. This is not learned. That somebody taught him this. Once the one cop finished her questions, I had a couple of follow-up questions. I asked him when he was made aware of Braylon, to which he replied it was fairly early on, stating he and Royce were together when the 2020 case was going on. The 2020 case was going on. They was already together. And so he's not in, why he not arrested? Why he not arrested? You knew this. And you let your son be left alone with him? You see what I mean? For all we know, I don't know. All right, let me calm down. A couple of days after it came to light, Royce told him everything that transpired. I then asked about red flags being raised with that case, to which I said da-da-da. He said he further stated he thought they had established a relationship of trust. He did not think Braylon would do anything to his children. He continued saying he thought Braylon respected him enough and cared enough about the boys, but he now realized he was wrong. You was wrong. And you back at your baby mama house, you letting you stay there? Yeah. We built different. We built real different. I'm glad this is all allegedly, because, good fucking luck. Ogletree met with such and such in the audio and video. Hold on. While P.I. Adler and I watched from another room. Such and such was qualified to ensure he knew the difference between truth and a lie, which he did after obtaining basic demographics, home environment at both his mom and dad's house, school situation, and what he does for fun. He was asked if the police had ever been to his mom or dad's house. Such and such said the sheriff had been to his dad's house to ask him questions. When Ogletree asked what such and such talked to the deputy about, he said it was about someone touching him back here and down here. Wait, what? Hold on. It was said he said he talked to the deputy about someone touching him back here and down here while pointing to his buttocks and genital. Such and such said, yes, someone made me do that. She asked, such and such to tell her all about what happened. Such and such says someone named Braylon made me touch down here while pointing towards his genital area and made me do this over and over again while motioning his eyes closed, his hand going back and forth. And he put it in my, and made me, he said this happened more than one time and disclosed two specific situations he remembered. He said the first time it happened, they were at Braylon's house upstairs in the bathroom by the toilet. Such and such said he was confused about what happened, but Braylon told him he would have to do it and told him what to do. Such and such said the second incident was a few days later in a room that connects to the upstairs, in quotation marks, the beach room, and believed it to be called the Paris room. Such and such continued saying Braylon made him do the thing, further saying he made me do this while motioning his closed fist up and down, and then put my on it. Olga asked him what that was, and Braylon made him pull his up and down, his penis up and down, and then do the same thing with his mouth on. He said Braylon's thing felt disgusting and I didn't even like it. This is a 6-year-old. When asked what made Braylon stop, he said he did not know, but eventually he stopped and forgot about it. Such as just stated he did not hear anything, see anything, taste or smell anything when Braylon stopped making him touch or I'm telling you right now. Y'all. I ask you again, this is your kid. Now what? This is your kid, now what? Explain it to me. Now what? Your kid is doing this to kids. What is happening? What deserves to happen? Is it real? The father was with, because here we're going to do a little conspiracy theory real quick. The father was with her while the other case was going on. Did you subconsciously, intentionally allow your child to be put in a situation where you could possibly sue Dwight Howard? That's all I'm saying. Possibly, allegedly. We don't know. I'm going to read this last page. I appreciate y'all for being here. I see all of the comments. I do appreciate them. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram, as Shanoti said, if you're not already. If you want a link to it, just click my About page in YouTube. And it'll bring you a link to everything that I have. So, the 6-year-old said Braylon told him whenever he makes him mad, he will have to do that to him. It says he believed he was 6 years old when this happened, and he is now 7 years old. He said he believed this happened when it was warm outside and they were allowed to play outside a lot on the trampoline. So it is believed these incidents occurred in the summer of 2021. Finally, Ogletree asked if he had parts on his body that no one was supposed to touch. He confirmed that there was and called them his butt, weenie, and balls. She then asked if anyone had ever touched him there, which he denied. When she asked if he were ever made to touch anyone in a spot that was private, he said Braylon, but denied anyone else. Finally, stated he wanted to tell an adult, but he was scared he would get in trouble. On March 3rd, 2022, so what's today? Today's the 11th? The 12th? What's today? Last week, at approximately 10:25, I met with Braylon, Royce, her mother, Juanita Reed, and her brother, Ryan Reed, at the Winter Garden Police Department. There is audio and video recording of this interview, they're saying. Royce requested her mother and brother be allowed in the interview room for moral support only, not to speak, which we all agreed on. I explained to Braylon and Royce that we were just going to have a conversation about what had transpired, and if at any point they wanted to leave, they could say they were done talking, get up, and walk out. I qualified Braylon to ensure he knew the difference between the truth and lie, which he did, and he promised to tell me the truth. I asked Royce about her relationship with such and such. She said they had been together for approximately 2 years and the boys were like brothers. She's in fucking denial. She's in denial. It's her son. She cannot see it. He was in there. This is... Man. All right. They were brothers. They were like brothers. I inquired about the pretrial diversion, to which Royce says since he started the program, he was doing very well. How would she know that she is not a kid under the age of him? So again, she's in denial. She said Braylon has started the program on June 22nd, 2021, and since then his therapist let her have spoken highly of him and didn't believe he was a threat or would reoffend. However, this incident occurred before Braylon started the program. I asked Braylon how he thought his therapy was going, to which he said it was going good. He said it was teaching him not to act on the urges he gets and teaching him how to stop them from coming up. He sound like he got a dark passenger. What you mean is teaching him the urge to do what? What he got an urge to do? To little kids. They think he gonna grow out of this? He said when he is on the internet and sees things that urges him, I asked him what things on the internet he was referring to, which he said regular pictures of girls on the internet, not pornography. I asked Braylon about the urges that come when he gets angry. He said that does cause some of the urges, but now that he is going through treatment, he now knows how to manage his anger. He provided examples of walking away from people, going to his room, etc. I asked about his father and when he last saw him. Braylon said the last time he saw him was when he was in town for a basketball game, which was a while ago. I also asked about the last time he had been to his father's house in Georgia, which he said was sometime during the 2020 quarantine. He said he used to talk to his father on the phone, but his father got upset about the time he was spending with such and such, and they have not spoken since. I don't know if that was Royce's. I don't know if that name blacked out is one of his Dwight Howard's other kids, or whether or not he's talking about Royce's boyfriend. Like he was mad, like you like him, tell him to be your daddy on some petty type stuff. But I can't even think about it because my brain hurts. I'm not gonna lie. Finally, I asked about what he thinks of such and such and such and such Junior. He said the boys look up to him as a big brother and that they all enjoy hanging out and doing things. Royce said the boys are extremely close even after the incident, and she believes the program is working since it happened before entering the program and has not happened since. I asked Braylon about what happened with such and such. He told me he remembered the boys coming over. The boys went upstairs to play on his computer while such and such was downstairs. Braylon said he went to use the bathroom and told such and such he could continue playing the game. While he was in the bathroom and such was still playing the video game, his character died in the game. This upset Braylon, so he brought such and such in the hallway where he showed. Alright. So yeah, that's the last one that I have for good reason. For good reason. For good reason. Because I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. Like, I just know that you're lying. This ain't no way. Ain't no way? Ain't no way, you don't think? Ain't no fucking way. Now, this is your kid, now what? What you gonna do? This is your kid. This is your baby that everybody's talking about. I don't know if his name is supposed to be out there, but I do know his name is out there because of who his father is. There is so much going on. I cannot deal with it. I cannot deal with it. Imagine if this is your child. This is your nephew. Imagine being his mom. Who you tell about this? The only people that know about this is the people that need to know, right? Because you want to protect his... So, she probably felt isolated. This has been going on at least since 2020 when he got, I'm going to say, caught allegedly. And then whenever the incident was, 2018? Is this why, again, his father may not be around that much? Again, I don't know. I don't know their relationship. I'm not presuming. I'm asking questions. I have some opinions. I'm not stating facts. I read documents. You know, y'all do y'all research for sure. I don't know what to tell y'all. This is a story developing. Because somebody has got to get him to a therapist that's going to get him to tell him who told him how to do this. Now, and I'm serious about that. This is crazy. And if you think for 1 minute that something hasn't happened that makes him do this, then you are, My mama said God watches over fools and babies. And you ain't no baby, so, hate to say it to you like that, but it is what it is. Shout out again for the Neighborhood Talk for providing those documents, because that's cool too. But I'm gonna tell you like I tell anybody else. Don't let your kids go nowhere. Do not let your kids go anywhere. Like, because it ain't just adults. You sitting there and all of the adults downstairs and all of the kids is upstairs, and you like, okay, all of the adults is downstairs. Ain't no reason for no adult to go upstairs, and if they do, they on some funny shit and I'm watching. Meanwhile, it's a kid upstairs that's doing something. So now what? Now what? And mom knew. But I mean, from what this is saying, dad knew too. Oh, so y'all, I know this ain't no true crime channel over here, but this is a fucking crime in progress if I ever seen one. I don't know no other crimes happening right now. And what happens to this boy now? The therapy is allegedly working. It's just a weird situation to be in, I'm telling you now. So you gotta ask you, if you got young kids, you gotta, not just about did Uncle such and such or did that man, But did cousin, did this, just... And as far as Royce, I just think she's in denial. It seems to me like she's definitely in denial, but this might snap her out of it. And tough love is going to be needed to give. He needs to be, I don't know, allegedly, I don't know. I don't want to say too much and get in trouble, y'all, but for the love of Krispy Kreme, why? Like, why is this happening? Mm-mm-mm. The way this shit is turning out, everybody going to hell. Ain't nobody making it to heaven. Because this shit is a cold, cold world. Cold, cold world. Where you got to worry about your babies with babies. They told him he can't babysit. He can't do nothing with no kids. So on some real shit, if Royce wants to have a baby, then what? I don't want to put, never. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep that opinion to myself on what I think he needs. He already a teenager. He has urges. There is no talk about getting rid of these urges. This is learning how to manage these urges. So imagine he does this when he gets mad, allegedly. So imagine you a girl 4 years from now. He trying to talk to you, get your number, whatever. As he slides in your DM or whatever, you say no. Or you see him in person, whatever the case may be, y'all at the bar, you deny his advances and he gets angry. What's going to happen to you? Or if you're a guy, what's going to happen to you? He's saying seeing girls dress, allegedly, he's saying seeing girls dress regularly makes him angry and then makes him want to go have a little boy allegedly do these things to him. That's what's happening. So, I mean, y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all grown. I can't. Thank y'all for coming. I'm about to end this live. This was not planned. We've been here for almost an hour now. I do appreciate everybody that was here. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. And tell everybody that I'm going to be going live on a regular basis. But we'll talk about